there. Hey there. I was gonna say Harry girl, hey, but you know what? We may have some guys on here, so I don't I don't want to exclude you guys as well. So happy Saturday. Happy Saturday. For those that don't know me, I am Desiree Harris Bonner of DH Bonner Virtual Solutions. And I am so excited this morning because there's a young lady that I get the opportunity to share with you guys this morning, who has actually been a repeat client, someone who um, has been a blessing to me, and in her story that she has been able to share with us. Um, in her writing, she had her first book a few years ago, actually, I think about 3 years ago, and I that was a good one. And so now to have her bring on a second book, after some life changes, and life will changes because life be lifing, right? Um, and so I really am proud of her. I think there's a motherly proudness of this young lady for what she's endured, what she's experienced, and then come through on the other side victorious. So I want to bring her up and let you guys meet her. And today we like to meet Miss Traci Anderson.
Hello, hello.
Hey girl.
Hello,
Now I can say, hey
everyone.
girl, hey.
Hi, hi. And to the fellas, hi.
Hey guys. Yeah, so welcome and thank you so
Woo.
much for accepting my invitation to have this conversation.
Thank you for having me. It's such an honor. Like you don't know how much I love you. I tell everybody about you. You are such
Mhm.
an incredible person. Thank you so much for having me.
My honor, my honor, my
Yes.
pleasure. So tell us, for those who don't know you, because I'm hoping that a larger audience will get to meet you today.
Yeah.
And if they're not watching today, maybe they'll hit it on a replay and
Yeah.
get to learn about you. Tell us about who you are and what you do.
Okay. So I am Traci Anderson, as you heard. I am from a little small town called Gainesville, Florida. And people always say, what is Gainesville, Florida? But I'll just say home of the Gators, chomp chomp, just in case a little of y'all may not like us. But I am a woman that does a lot of things. I am a motivational speaker. I'm a life coach, relationship coach. I also work in the legal field, and I am an author. And the author portion is the truly the best of me. And I just never thought I would be here as far as that hat. So that just sums up pretty much who I am. And every day, if I can, I try my best to impact people because I honestly feel like that's what I'm here for this world. So
And I agree wholeheartedly, 100%. And you're doing that.
yeah.
So tell us what it was. What was the driving force or motivation behind writing your first book?
Ooh. So I will say the title alone revealed, refreshed, renewed. Um, so just jumping back, I can first encourage people to journal. That what was produced through that was through years of writing and journaling and calling it a devotion, just encouraging myself. So I just believe that the play on the words was just where I was right in transition. I was literally going from one city to the next. So titling that book was exactly where I was. And God literally showed me so many things and revealed it, refreshed. I had to start to come into my own and then just be restored, and renewed, at the same time. So I just feel like the book was exactly where I was just in my transitional period. And wasn't an easy process, but I put where I was into the book and just wanted to push and encourage people through my story as much as I could. So that's where I was.
Tell us a little bit about where you were, because you know me, I don't like to surface things. I
Yeah.
like to get into it.
Yes. So, well, I would say 2018, my mother, she had passed away. So I was just truly in a grieving state. And I used my pen and paper to help me get through that. But in the process, I also married.
Mhm.
So I had the bitter and the sweet at the same time, but still grieving.
Yeah.
So, walking into a marriage and grieving, it was really hard for me to transition. So I just think that, and it folds into the second book. So I will say I will leave that there.
No, you dive right in, because if we're here in around 2018 and you've lost your mom and you've come into a marriage, but you're still in a very grieving state, how did that affect the marriage itself?
Well, um, if I can encourage anyone, I would say heal first. And if it's meant to be, as far as God ordained, they'll wait for you.
Mm,
I was in a moment where I just wanted to grab something because I lost something. So instead of me taking the time to learn the person before me, which I shouldn't have been learning anything but how to get through the loss, I just jumped head in. And I think a lot of times we think that that's the right way, and really we need to deal with us. And I jumped into it head first, thinking it was the best thing for me, just trying to grip something that I wanted to love me, and ended up divorced and resetting. But I learned a lot through that process, and it's definitely heal, because all you're doing is just taking that baggage to someone else. I believe in my book, I called it building a bear.
mhm, mhm, mhm.
Trying to stuff certain pieces in, knowing that we're missing the heart. And really, I didn't have a heart for really no one but my mom. All I wanted, I wanted to live, but I wanted to die, if that makes
Mhm.
sense. I just wanted to go where she was. So no matter how much people tried to love me, and that went for anyone outside of my husband, I didn't see anything but loss. So
Yeah.
I would just continue to say, just heal before you jump into anything.
Yeah. So since you've delved into that, then we're talking about now the second book,
Yeah.
which you just literally this week deliver.
Yes.
Brand new book, baby. And
Yes.
tell us about the title for that one and the
Ooh.
purpose behind that one.
So shattered. I need y'all to get it now. Shattered Life After Divorce. So that book, it was after my transition. So um, as far as my divorce and just starting over, and what a process,
Hmm.
what a process it is. I don't think people speak on it enough, um, because divorce, I used to hear my mom say it all the time, divorce is like a death. And I'm like, how? You just get on with life. No, it can be a hurtful piece. It doesn't matter how long and how short your marriage was. It can literally be a transitional period for you that can literally take you out. And I believe that I wanted to share my story because I found that in marriage, people may not agree with this, but in marriage, you don't get a lot of help. But when you divorce, everybody has everything to pour into you.
Yeah.
So when you're reaching people and you're like, help me, help me, help me, I'm having this tragic situation. We all believe in God, and well, some people believe in God, but I believe in God. And you hear pray, 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 but nobody's telling you how to get to that next level in your marriage. So I'm not saying that even I have all the the story for everybody, but I wanted to really shatter it just to help people in certain scenarios where they may find themselves, especially women in ministry. Um, yeah, women in ministry and women that are married to, pastor figures or, ministers, because it is so easy to get lost and start to see things as you resent the church, all these different things, because it's just pulling your husband and pulling your family, pulling your marriage, and it's just you, just lonely. So I just wanted to just share my experience and hope that I'm able to help some people, as well as let my reset people know that we will be all right and we can continue to go on, because sometimes people will put words in your ear thinking that your divorce is like a death, and you'll never go farther, you'll just be in this bubble. But no, there's hope out there, there's love out there, and understand that just because you go before God, it does not mean that he ordained it. So we
Mm.
have to learn how to wait on what it is that God is giving us and sit through our trials and get through them. And I promise you, God will give you his best. So,
Wow. Speak to that a little bit, because in the church, in the organism, in the body, not necessarily Christ's body, but just the building, the organization itself, we hear a lot about that divorce is a sin.
yeah,
Divorce is a separation from God. Yes, and the word says, I will say it, God hates divorce.
right,
But that's because God is a God of relationship,
right,
right? God is a God, the type of God that believes in covenant, right?
yes,
He's more of a covenant God than a contract God,
right,
right? so
right,
so definitely he hates it, but it's not the case where he automatically believes or kicks us out of his life because we might have to go through that. And the reality is that a lot of us did, as you said, just because we went before God doesn't mean God ordained it. Most of us didn't even ask God.
right.
What do you think about this, God?
That's true.
We did it, and then we came back to him after, okay, help us.
Yes, yes. Or he has given us all the flags. Let's say we did. I mean, gave us every flag in the world. But because, let me speak on this, because of loneliness, I will share my story. Because of loneliness and seeing people married, have children, and all these different things, we would literally jump at the thing. And like you said, God is like, no, no, ma'am. But because we have attached ourselves to something and don't want to start over, we're just like, you know what? Let me just take this person. And then once we're in it, we say to ourselves, oh, this person is this, but we knew this in the beginning.
Yes.
So it's like you can't allow loneliness to push you into a situation that will literally be detrimental to you mentally, emotionally. It's a tough thing to get out of mentally. And yeah, I'll flow into that. I'll flow into that later.
Yeah. So yeah, we're seeing a lot of wonderful comments from your audience. People telling you that they love you,
Oh,
that your beautiful sister, so proud.
thank you.
Um, let's see, so proud. A few of those. I love you, Traci, and I'm so proud of you. Love you, cousin Traci.
Thank you.
Yeah. Most
Thank
people, believe it or not, are asking how can they purchase the book. And normally I would ask that at the end. But hey, if you guys want to go out there and purchase it right now,
Yes, yes.
so please tell them where they can get this book.
So if you go on Amazon, if you type in Shattered Life After Divorce, Traci, Traci Anderson, Anderson. You can click the link. It's on Kindle this time, y'all. And you can purchase it paperback. So please go support I promise you, you will find you in the book, rather you are married, rather you are in trans separation, or rather you are single. When I tell you in this book, I hit all points. And my hope and my prayer, and I told Miss Desiree in the beginning, I just hope that I can keep people together. I want people to look at themselves. I want people to also know that life, grass can't be green on the other side. So I hit all points, and I'm just praying and I'm hoping that this book really touches the world and just touches people and just allow them to see themselves. That's my most important thing.
So one of the comments that are coming up here is, can we hear more about the new book? So
Okay.
apparently the ears are on. The ears are on. The hearts are open. So
Oh,
talk to me. Let me help you direct that. Talk
okay.
to me a little bit about, because there's a concept you do bring up, and you mentioned it earlier, about Build a Bear.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Talk a little bit more about that concept.
Okay. So let's see. When I think of a Build a Bear, you think about when you're going into the store, you're getting you know, the outfits and everything, and you're pushing it together. So my take on that is, when you wait on God, you don't have to stuff, you don't have to do all these things to create something that you want. So when I talk about the Build a Bear concept, it's, if you just take your time to allow God to move, then I feel as though things will be better for you. I found myself in my journey just stuffing things to fit what I needed and not what I deserved or desired. So the book is, it just has so many different angles and different concepts. And I just want, I don't want to release too much, but I will just say that there's also a portion in the book about the man and the mistress. And like I explained earlier, just about ministry, and being a pastor's wife and being, sunken into that world. Um, it's just so many aspects to the book. I wish I
Right.
could
So the bottom line is, go get the book, right?
Yes, yes,
Go get the
yes.
book.
If I could open it up and tell you, I would. But as far as the Build-A-Bear aspect, just it seems like a beautiful thing, but really we're tacking on the things that we want and not what God wants for us. So
Yeah.
that's the main concept that I want you to understand. And I understand everybody's not spiritual, or don't even believe in God, but I would just also say, just sit into what it is that you need and stop just receiving things just because it seems you don't want to wait. That's what I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have a really awesome question here, and I'm gonna
Okay.
bring it up because I want to make sure you can read it as well. It says, many of us in challenging marriages feel that's the worst. She hasn't read the books yet, but how is life from your perspective on the other side of a bad marriage? Is it really greener?
Oh, that's good. Um, I would say it for me, it was because, and I'll go deeper. Um, I came from a marriage that was, um I would say, doomed from the beginning because of
Mhm.
how we met. I would say that you have to, um you got to accept that first. When I say the grass can't be greener, you hear that people say that, like you said, all the time. Oh, no, it's not, but it can be. Because sometimes, don't look at it in relationship, look at it as freedom. And I don't care if I never get remarried, I'm free in my mind. And when I was sitting in that marriage, I was literally sinking every single day. When it got to the point of, gotta get the book, when it got to the point of certain things, I literally was sinking, and trying to be presentable. And I go back and I look at some pictures and I don't even look recognizable. So I will say that freedom needs to be your answer, and freedom in your mind, emotionally, spiritually. That is why I say the grass is greener, because I am free to know who I am in my existence and being who I need to be. So what I did for myself in my transition, I want to speak on this because I think that we don't do it enough, specifically in our community. The reason why you see the young lady that you see now, I had to put myself in therapy. I literally was unrecognizable, and I was so angry. And once I transitioned from my marriage, I also want to speak on this. When you transition, I don't care how spiritual you think you are, it is a process, because you go from a warm bed, rather it's cold or not, to no bed. And it is hard. And you start to be promiscuous. You start to do things because you're trying to fill all those same holes that you just left. And I just started to be so angry with people. Anybody that was nice to me, I made sure that I gave them whatever I felt like giving them. So I put myself in therapy, and I was in therapy for probably a year and a half. And I went consistently because I knew what I needed. But if I can speak on that to a lot of women and men, a lot of things that we face, even in the relationships that we have now, it's because of our childhood trauma that we never dealt with. And we think, oh, it's this person. But we have trauma and baggage that we never dealt with because we were told to just get up and exist. And I just want to say to people, take that second to heal. And if freedom is all you get from it, that's the greener.
Amen.
That's the greener. If your mental health is all you get from it, you can walk out and you can be like, woo, I'm good, then that's the greener. Don't look for relationship or the second chance at it. Look for freedom. And that is what I look to every single day is I'm free.
Isn't that what the word says though? Jesus said, I've come to make you free, right? And that he who
Yes.
the son sets free is free indeed.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And so there's value in being free from the bondage of the enemy. And sometimes God will use marriage or relationships, even if it isn't an actual marriage, to put us into a bondage state.
Yeah.
And I think what's interesting about what you said, at least from what I picked up on for myself, I grabbed for myself, was this idea that we go into these relationships looking to heal
Yeah.
something, right? Either to heal or to feel
Yes.
us a void or to heal something in us, right?
Yeah.
When they were never designed and created to do that.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And so then when the person that's there begins to exacerbate or grade up against that thing or pull too much from us where there already is lack,
Right.
right? Or already is a painful place, then it just makes it a worse problem. But when
Yeah.
they're when we detach from that or disconnect from that or divorce from that, then what happens is we have to focus again on the thing we were supposed to be focused on from the beginning,
Yes.
us. Because
You
when
do
it's
it.
all said and done, we're left with us.
Yes. And I tell a lot of women this because I mentor and I speak to a lot of women. And it's this, and men, because a lot of people they like to just focus on the woman. But let me tell you, these men go through it as well.
Oh, absolutely.
And I will say, don't forget yourself. And it's easy to say that. But I encourage a lot of people, if it's once out the month or twice out the month, to do something for yourself. Because when you listen to a lot of marriages and you listen to a lot of relationships, even, a lot of people can't even identify who they are. If I ask them this particular, and it's such a simple question.
Okay.
What do you want to do? Or what do you like about yourself? That is the hardest thing for them to say. But if you say, well, what does your husband like? Or what does your boyfriend like? You can, but you don't know you. And I think that people need to get back into who they are. And don't forget yourself. in your marriage, find ways to incorporate who you are, because it starts to work on you, believe it or not, and then you become bitter and you become angry in your relationship because you feel like you've given up on yourself, but really it's on you.
Yes.
Because you have to say, you know what, today I'm going to go, I'm going to the mall. I don't care if I'm spending your money, I'm going.
Girl.
You have to go and do that thing for yourself, because that is your self moment. When I tell you I don't let nobody take my self moment anymore, but I had to learn that you have to have your self moment, because I'm telling you, and you know, you may come back home to them kids and they hollering and screaming, I don't care, I got that pedicure. You know, I had that moment for myself, and I just tell a lot of women and men, find yourself even in marriage. Don't lose yourself, because it's so easy to do. Specifically for women, I can only speak for us. I don't have children yet.
Yeah.
And I put that yet out there because I will. But you have to just take that second, because you will lose yourself, because we're nurturers. We were born to take it all in and do it all. But we have to know that you can take that second, and just don't forget to take that moment for you.
Yeah, I think what is key there, though, is knowing who you are before you even get into marriage.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Before you even get into a marriage, because, and I know I did that. I did not know myself, or I thought I did. But when I got married, it was like I shaved parts of myself off.
You do.
Right. And then blended myself immediately to that person, where God doesn't say you bring 50% of yourself and he brings 50% of himself. Mm-hmm. You're supposed to bring 100% of yourself.
Yes.
To marriage. The other person's supposed to bring 100% of themselves to marriage, right? And so it's because it's supposed to be an exponential thing. Here's the thing: when you subtract half of yourself or parts of yourself, that means something, and they do the same on their side, or they're refusing to do that, whatever that looks like. You basically are not just building a bear, you're building a monster.
Yes.
Right? Because you're putting together pieces and parts of yourself to this other person and trying to create this one thing. God said he will make them one. When you cleave, you bring all of you and you just join.
Yes.
You don't cut off and create something else.
Right.
But you have to know who you are already at the onset. And what you like, what you don't like. And if you're not 100% with yourself yet, then you're actually not ready for marriage. And what a lot of us are looking at, I remember one time in ministry, we did this thing and we had this special presentation. But ultimately what I was sharing was that we always prepare for a wedding.
Yes.
We prepare ourselves for a wedding. We don't really prepare ourselves for marriage.
For marriage, exactly. That's so true. And it's interesting, because one thing I've advised a lot of people is this. I'm gonna say it again. Get it in the book. Is nuggets. Mm-hmm. Sometimes we share too much that the listener is listening and adjusting themselves, right? Adjusting themselves, but you didn't ask enough questions. So now you told them, let's give an example, I don't like people that curse. Mm-hmm. So then they say, I won't curse around her.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So next thing you know, you're married. And all of a sudden, this person is a completely different person that you didn't know. And that's because you dropped all of your nuggets and you chose not to ask many questions, or you going with the perceived questions. That's why when I hear a lot of people say, well, what happened before me? What's before me? Oh, no. You need to dig into that before me, because sometimes there may be something in there that you may need. So it's important to listen. Just listen sometimes and let them tell their story instead of be so quick to share your truth and your story, because they'll say, well, all right, she doesn't like that, let me not do that. But that's really who they are. Yes. So a lot of us put ourselves in situations because we have told entirely too much. So sometimes you just gotta sit back and listen. So I agree. Prepare yourself for the marriage, not the wedding.
Not the wedding.
I like it. that. I'm gonna have to use that now.
Yeah. Let me write that one down. Prepare yourself
You
for
need
the.
to patent that. Yes.
Ooh. So tell people again where they can find the book, and
Okay.
tell them what you want them to do with the information once they get it.
Okay. So you can find the book on Amazon. It is Shattered Life After Divorce. Traci, Traci Anderson, Anderson. And what I would like you to do with this book is truly to mirror yourselves. My prayer is that this book heals marriages. I pray that people are able to take that second for their spouses and to rekindle their flames, and take that second to explore who they are, as well as to my people in transition, my people that are reset. I prefer that word than divorce. Just know that if you're looking for love, it is out there. Take that second to go through your process, and I do mean healing. You don't necessarily have to do therapy, but just take that second to just remember who you are, fill those voids, and get back out there. And there are sections in there where, if you really know me, there are questions and there are responses for you to take that second for yourself and write your thoughts down just to reflect on your day. So I pray that this book truly blesses people and truly help people through their process wherever you may be. And I'm just grateful for this opportunity. I'm grateful for this platform. And again, if you need to reach me, I am on Instagram. It is world changer _87, on Facebook, Traci World Changer. So please find me, because I'm always an ear away. And I just hope that I'm able to continue to be impactful in this world. So thank y'all so much.
Thank you. Thank you. I loved your transparency. I knew you would be, because you're transparent in the book as well. And you've been
Yeah.
transparent whenever you speak to me. So I wasn't surprised by that. I know that it's a blessing to those who got to hear you and see you, and take that with them as they go
Yeah.
forward. So thank you for joining me today. And I
Thank
look
you.
forward to what you've got coming up next.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate you so much. Like I said, if I can just put this pen in there, this is the lady that has helped me birth my books. This is the midwife. I'm telling you, this lady will push you through. She will help you through. She will check in on you to make sure all is well. She is an incredible lady. Don't hesitate. Don't sit on your story, and don't concern yourself with how people feel or how people may feel. Think about who you're helping through your journey, and pick that pen up, start journaling, do what you have to do. I'm telling you. And if you place your book in this young lady's hands, it will be a masterpiece. She will walk you through it. So just take that opportunity to just write your story.
Write your story. That's the part I want them to hear.
Yeah.
Write your story.
Yeah.
All right. By his grace and for his glory. Amen.
Yes.
Thank you, love. I'll give you an
Thank
update
you
back,
so
but I look
much.
forward to seeing what's next.
Yes. Have a wonderful day.
You too. Bye
All
bye.
right. Bye.